Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I want to make two differences in the magazines of Watchtower literature. That is the Awake magazine and the Watchtower. The Watchtower is used by Jehovah's Witnesses on every Sunday to study the magazine, the information in the magazine. And if there is a question that a person don't understand, the elders will mention up on the stage how to clarify the misunderstanding of a certain part of that verse. But that information in the Awake magazine, Jehovah's Witnesses only read it, but it don't have no comments or anything like the Awake magazine. Why is this important? Well, if you don't study your magazine thoroughly through, and without the Watchtower helping you to understand what you're reading and help you understand, how can you go door to door preaching about any article if you do not have the understanding what you're reading? I'll give you an example. 1968, there was an article, or a magazine you can say, which I'm going to show that. But people that came into the religion, say about 1965 or 66 or 67, they got the Watchtower and Awake magazine, and when they opened up the Awake magazine, they found something that should have been in the Watchtower magazines, because what was in this magazine, the Awake magazine, it destroyed all Jehovah's Witnesses at that time. But if this information was put into the from the Awake magazine to the Watchtower magazine, then Jehovah's Witnesses could have had all the elders and the whole congregation involved learning this information, and not Watchtower putting the blame on the witnesses because they didn't understand what was in the magazine of the Awake magazine. It would have been put into the Watchtower. So, my question is, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, if information like this I'm going to share was so important at that time, why didn't Jehovah's Witnesses, or in this case, the Watchtower, put all this information into a study magazine? It would be called the Watchtower magazine, not in the Awake magazine. What are we talking about? We're talking about 1975. The Signs of the Last Days was published in 1968 magazine. There were wars, food shortage, pestilence, earthquakes, increase of lawlessness, 1914 Armageddon, overlap generation. Whoa! It does not say that. It says within one generation from 1914. So, why are we teaching overlap generation? Oh my gosh! Because the people who was in 1940 generation are dead and gone. That's the reason why we got the new overlap generation. It was not a new light. It's to cover up the past lie. Think about it. Jehovah God telling the watchtower, within this generation, one generation, I promise you, Armageddon was going to start. Did he say overlap generation? To the government body that put this information in their own literature? No, he did not. Is the time running out for this generation? What will the 1970s bring? October 8th, 1968. Those people was dying from 1914 to 1970. They was running out. They was going to die. 80s, they was getting old. 90s, some of them was already passing away. Matter of fact, the only one who was almost still alive at that time was the president, Freddie Franz, because he died, not by mistaken, he was about 99 years old, give or take. So all that information about 1975, why was it published in the Wake magazine? Why all this information, and there was more information I could have put in this video about 1970, 1975. Why all this information was not in the Watchtower magazine, and when they study the magazine, they would have found out and learned. They wouldn't be going door to door and had their hopes built up about 1975 if nothing was going to happen. Or it say in the magazine, oh, Adam and Eve was created 6,000 years ago, and 1975 would be the 7,000 years. But Jehovah's Witnesses thought from Freddie Franz's talk that Armageddon was going to start, and after September the 5th, 1976 1976 was going to start. So why they didn't put all that information in there? So what I did some research trying to find out what information was printed in the Watchtower magazine. Well, this is all I found. In August 15th, 1968, Watchtower indicates that there might be a slight delay between the end of humanity, first 6,000 years in autumn 1975, the end of the world. The end of the world! Wow! You know, they could have put the other information about 1975 in this information here in their own Watchtower magazine, but they only gave you limited information. Probably a small paragraph what you see here that Jehovah's Witnesses overlooked. And just because it says between Adam's creation and Eve's, they're sure that the delay will only be few weeks or months, but not years. People, it wouldn't make no difference when Adam was created, and how long Eve was created for Adam. Watchtower was using a year, 5 years, or 3 months, 2 months, or even 1 month difference determined that September 5th, 1975, the world was supposed to end. It says right here, 6,000 years in autumn 1975, and the end of the world. This is from the Awake. No, this is from the Watchtower magazine. They put in there showing that the end of the world in 1975. So they didn't want to put more information like this in the study section of the Watchtower, because they didn't want people to ask questions, study this. I mean, it would, gosh, my parents would have learned about this. They would have known from the lady who brought us into this religion in 1970 that what she studied in this magazine, that the world was going to end in 1975, but she failed to tell us about it. Because why? Because this wasn't a study magazine. It was Awake magazine. I mean, something like that to announce to all the Jehovah Witnesses and all the kingdom halls all over the world, shouldn't that have been in the Watchtower magazine, not Awake magazine? Because they don't study the Awake magazine in the Watchtower meetings. It's only the Awake magazine. Jehovah Witnesses. It's this last little part that was published in the Watchtower magazine, saying that 6,000 years in autumn 1975 and the end of the world means Armageddon was supposed to start. Wake up, people. Get out of Watchtower's teaching. Do your research like we did. If not, then watch our videos, our research, and then you can see the truth for yourself. Thank you, and have a nice day. And by the way, what you're reading right there, it says end of the world. Thank you. Have a nice day.